one important program on a two-dimensional array, program to multiply two matrices. A very important program from the examination point of view, and even logically, this program needs up some additional contents to be discussed. And make sure that whatever the index matrix which I'm going to draw or I'm going to explain, you rewrite that particular index matrix and work on your own. Once you have the contents written with you, then it will be much more easy for us to discuss, right? So you can pause this particular video in the mid, have content written simultaneously as per my discussion, and then correlate with what you have written and what we are going to say. And definitely the correlation will make the program much more easier. Let's start with this particular code of addition of two matrices. The very first thing which I'm supposed to do is, as usual, we are supposed to read the order of matrix. Let's say matrix A as m by n and matrix B as p by q. Now, for the addition operation, we said m should be equal to p and n should be equal to q. But multiplication, the condition doesn't remain same. For condition for multiplication, it says the number of columns of the first matrix, that is n, should be always equal to p. The only condition this has to be satisfied. So if I take up an example of, say, 3 rows and 3 columns of the first matrix, and let's say this as 3 rows and 2 columns. So this matrix is of order 3 by 3 and this matrix is of order 3 by 2. Is this multiplication possible? Yes, possible, because the number of columns of the first matrix are equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. Hence, the matrix multiplication is possible, right? Okay. Now, assume that this is my matrix A and this is my matrix B. How do I get a matrix C? What will be the order of this particular matrix C? Matrix C will have a unique order. The matrix C, or the resultant matrix, will have rows of the first matrix and columns of the second matrix. So it means that this will have 3 rows and 2 columns altogether. This will be 3 by 2. In general, this will be always m by q, where p and n are of the condition. The resultant matrix should be m by q. In this case, it is 3 by 2. So the resultant matrix will have 3 rows and 2 columns in this particular matrix. Let me say this as matrix C. Now question comes, what will be the value of C of 0, 0? So let me write the index at this place. A of 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 2, 0, 2, 1. This is 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. Right? So make sure that you are writing these things simultaneously so that you can understand how exactly the matrix multiplication goes. My advice, pause this video for a while, go to your stores, get a paper and write the contents as I say. Correlate with what I'm saying so that we'll have an interactive discussion, right? Okay. Even though I'm not physically over there, but definitely the virtual learning session will be much more meaningful if we have a virtual interaction, right? Okay. Now let me get matrix C element. How do I get matrix C element? One element of matrix C is a set of elements of matrix A with set of elements of matrix B multiplied together. When we did addition, it was just corresponding elements. C of 0, 0 was A of 0, 0 plus B of 0, 0. C of 0, 1 was A of 0, 1 plus B of 0, 1. Now, when it comes to multiplication, it is not just one element multiplication. It is now a set of elements of A multiplied with a set of elements of B. When I say set of elements of A, that indicates the row elements of A should be multiplied with the column elements of B. So here, let me write these indexes of A which are going to be multiplied with the indexes of B. A of 0, 0 is multiplied with B of 0, 0 plus A of 0, 1 is multiplied with B of 1, 0 plus A of 0, 2 is multiplied with B of 2, 0. You might say that this is a set of elements of A of ij with B of ji. No. The index of ij with A will not reverse with B. Let me write one more set for you. C of 0, 1. What is C of 0, 1? C of 0, 1 is again the multiplication of the same row, but this time with the elements of the second column of B. So let me write the index of this. 0, 0 multiplied with 0, 1, 0 1 multiplied with 1 1, 0 2 multiplied with what? 2 1. So in this, are the index of A of I, J, are they interchanged? No, you will not get this particular. So I need to get a relation with this particular part, right? Okay, so it is not just addition, you should even add these values. Similarly, you can write the index elements for C of 1 0, C of 1 1, C of 2 0 and C of 2 1. What is C of 1 0? C of 1 0 is the second row of A multiplied with the first column of B. Similarly, C of 1 1 is the same second row multiplied with second column. C of 2 0 is a multiplication of third row of A with the first row of B, first column of B. And C of 2 1 is the third row of this particular A multiplied with the second column of this particular B. Okay, now the index matrix which I have written at this place will help us to understand how exactly the multiplication operation goes. Core operation which is supposed to be done for multiplication. I'll write the program at this place. Sample code. Remember this. The first loop which you're supposed to write is the row loop. How many rows are there in the resultant matrix? The rows are n. So I'll write a loop as for I equals to 0, I less than equals to m minus 1, I plus plus. This is my row of or R of this particular matrix. So this is R. Now, the next which I'm supposed to do is how many columns this resultant matrix will have. How many columns the resultant matrix will have? Q columns. So let me say for j equals to 0, j less than equals to q minus 1, j plus plus. So first is R, second is C. Write a R loop, put a curly bracket. Write a C loop, put a curly bracket. Now, how many times I'm supposed to do this particular multiplication operation? To get to one element of C, I need to repeatedly do this particular multiplication operation for 3 times. If the matrix should have been 5 by 5 and 5 by 2, then to get one element, I could have done 5 times. In general, the multiplication of A with B will be done the common number of times or the condition which is going to satisfy the multiplication operation. So here, either n times or p times I'm supposed to multiply. So for that, what I'll do is I'll write one more additional loop just for multiplying times. How many times you said? For, let me say one more loop as k equals to 0, k less than equals to either n times or p times. So n minus 1, k plus plus. Within this, what are you doing? You are multiplying one element of A with one element of B. But are you just doing multiplication? No, you are not doing just multiplication. You are doing a multiplication along with addition operation. So what I'll do is I'll take a variable s and add this value. So s corresponds to the entire sum of this particular element, and this s will finally go into C of 0 0. Similarly, at this place, this entire corresponds to s, and this s finally goes to C of 0 1. If I put the sum as initially 0, will it make a difference? 0 plus? No. So why don't we do this particular operation of s equal to 0 at this place, and once we complete this operation, let me set C of ij equals to s. So I'll end this particular j loop and this particular I loop. Over. This is what I'm supposed to remember for multiplication operation. So first loop is row loop, second loop is column loop, and third loop is the times which you are supposed to use for multiplication. If it could have been just one corresponding multiplication, then we could have never used a for loop. Did we use a for loop in addition or subtraction of matrices? No. We just kept on doing the operation simultaneously. But here, to get one element of matrix C, I need to do the operation repeatedly for n times or p times the condition which is used for multiplication operation. Now in this, let's do this particular code. Can I put empty brackets in this particular A and B? No, you can't put empty brackets. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write some index of this particular B. For that, we have to make an observation. Let's observe this. The first index of C is I and the second index of B is J. This is I and this is going to be J. If you observe, the first index of C is always going to match with I. That means that first index of A goes to I. The second index of A at this place is changing continuously. Within this, how do I change this? So here, the second index of A matches with neither I nor J, because this is continuously changing. See here, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. Within this inner loop, will I undergo change? No, I doesn't go undergo change. J, will it undergo change? No, J will not go a change. The only variable which changes regularly in this place is K. Hence, the second index of A goes to K. It is A of Ik. So second index goes with K. Whatever the second index, the same are the values of the B first index. See here, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So why don't we say, if second index of A is K, first index of B is also K. It is K. Now, the last index will be constant during the calculation, but undergoes a change when you move from one location to another location. When we move from one location to another location, I doesn't change because in both the cases I is 0. When I move from one location to another location, will K is going to regularly change, so K is ruled out. The only variable which is going to set for this is J, hence it is K. So I'll put the second index of B as J. So A of Ik should be multiplied with what? B of Kj. Not that always Ij will be used. So in this, how do I get this particular value? How do I get this particular index? So I observed that if I use a 3 by 3 matrix, then the things will be much more easier. So when you are trying out, try 3 by 3 and 3 by 3 matrix. So when you observe all the index of A, all the first index of A, it is always A. Right? Now with that, without looking at the first two matrices, let's say C of 1, 0. Will it work? C of 1, 0. So the first index of A, this is I and this is J. First index of A is always I, 1, 1, 1. Second index is K, which changes 0, 1, 2. B first index is changing 0, 1, 2. Multiply this, and then J is 0, 0, 0. Similarly at this place, I'm not using these matrices, I'm just using Ik, Kj logic to display. So I is 1, 1, 1. K is 0, 1, 2. So using the Ik, Kj logic, let's write these indexes. So we have written these indexes. Now B has what? 0, 1, 2, because the second index of B is K. Now the index of second index of B is J, that is 1, 1, 1. Now let's multiply these and add these values. Let's check out whether I have written the things properly or not. So 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. I have used the second row. The second row has to be multiplied with the first column 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0. To get the second element, what I need to do is I need to take the second row, multiply with the second column 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 2, 1. Right? So here, have I written these logic or these instructions using the matrix or Ik, Kj logic? I have used Ik, Kj logic. If that satisfies, it means that it works for even other conditions. Now, let me write the index for this particular last set also. So, I is what? 2. So, let me use 2 to 2. K is 0, 1, 2. Multiply. 0, 1, 2. And then J is 0, 0, 0. 2, 1. I is 2. 2, 2, 2. K is 0, 1, 2. K is again 0, 1, 2. Multiply all these elements and J is 1, 1, 1. If you check 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2 are the elements of the third row of A multiplied with the first column 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0. Same row, that is 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2 multiplied with 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. So it means that these elements are working properly. We are now very much sure that Ik, Kj logic works properly. So I have a row loop, I have a column loop, and I have a times loop, which will help us to get this particular multiplication operation done. Let's put this entire code. Program seems to be lengthy, but actually it is very simple with its logical stuff. Rather than remembering the entire code, what you do is you remember it structure wise. First, what I'm going to do, I'm going to read the orders. So I'll have read orders at this place. So I'll read orders from this point to this point. So I have declared A, B, and C as two dimensional arrays, 3 in quantity, where 2 arrays are for input and 1 array is for output. I, J, K are the loop variables. S is the intermediate sum variable. Mn and PQ are the order of the matrix. Right? Okay. First, check or read the matrix or read the orders of the matrix. Once the matrix orders have been read, then check the condition. Condition is the columns of the first matrix, that is n, should be equal to the rows of the second matrix, that is p. So n equal to p. If this is true, then proceed with the operation, that is read elements of matrix A. In this, I'll say m and n ampersand of A of ij, and here I'll say m and p and q and ampersand of B of ij. So read matrix A, read matrix P, and then get matrix C. Now in this is my R loop, row loop, which ends up at 0 to m minus 1. This is my column loop, which ends up at q minus 1. Now this is the place where most of the examiners will be interested in. Have you written these indexes properly? The rows of the resultant matrix are m, the columns of the resultant matrix are q minus 1, and then s is set to 0, and this is the times loop. How many times I am supposed to do this? Either n minus 1 times or p minus 1 times. S equal to s plus a of ik multiplied by b of kj. So ik square j, ik kj. I'll add this, and finally s is stored as c of ij. End this particular k loop, end this particular j loop, end this particular I loop, and then display this particular value. If you wish, you can merge these two parts. As soon as you get an element of c, display this element using printf %d, c of ij, and between these two curly brackets you place printf slash n, right? Or if you want to do it separately, rct element and then get this particular display separately. m minus 1 and q minus 1, display the element. Once you display, this is end of if. This is end of if. I'm going to end this particular matrix. So once the matrix elements have been ended, then I'll say else printf multiplication is not possible. If this condition is not satisfied, else we'll say multiplication is not possible. So we'll ignore the entire operation which I have stated in this. So I've done it in 4 parts. Apart from reading, within if there are 4 parts. First, read A, then read me, calculate C, and then finally display this particular C. Clear that? So multiplication operation program seems to be very lengthy. But remember, common thing, read order, read A, read B, and then if you wish, you can multiply and display simultaneously. In multiplication, remember 3 loops, R, C, T. R stands for rows, C stands for column, and T stands for the times in which you are supposed to do the multiplication operation. And then display this particular output. Display the output using printf %d, c of ij. And within the arrays, A will have ik and B will have kj. Ikkj. Right? So carry out the operation thoroughly. Jot the program one more time before you say that I know this particular code very well. Once you understand the entire code, you can first write it by observation, and then you can write only the logical part without observation. That will make you more confident about this particular program. Thank you.